Welcome to WVBN, bringing you the latest headlines from around the world. The Royal Navy intercepted and detained a German destroyer en route to Ireland. The destroyer was staffed by both German and Irish naval personnel. The Germans were taken as prisoners of war, while the Irish were allowed to leave on the condition that the destroyer be beached. No casualties were reported. France commissioned a new M-Tech heavy cruiser, inspired by Bell Research, named Reynard this week. The vessel showed no sign of issue on her maiden trip to Casablanca to reinforce the battered French forces stationed there. French reinforcements to Indochina continued, encountering hostile Morgana forces in the southern Indian Ocean. The fleet was able to drive them off, but suffered notable damage. Italy finally succeeded with their Balkan coalition this week, when Benito Mussolini skillfully negotiated with both Greece and Turkey to set aside past differences and join for the common defense of the region. Shortly after, both Romania and Yugoslavia expressed interest and joined the growing power bloc in Europe. In Japan, the delusion maze that had plagued the South China Sea was destroyed after a submarine infiltration mission, led by a senior research official, succeeded in destroying both the maze and the Morgana. The greatest headline out of Japan this week, however, was the unprecedented change of policy in both the Japanese military and culture, when Japan formally brought in foreign military personnel as full Japanese citizens. After the many sacrifices of foreigners on the awakened kami, Japan was ready to accept those not born in Japan as true sons and daughters of Japan. Those serving would be given papers to officially immigrate. Even the Imperial Army was shockingly open to the idea, and began to come around to these warriors with Japanese souls in the fight against the Morgana. What changes this might bring to Japanese society at large will take years to fully realize. The United States saw a number of diplomatic announcements this week, including an affirmation of support to both Britain and France. The Navy decided to pursue a policy of escort destroyers and carriers, following repeated Morgana interdiction, though work on a pair of coastal defense battleships would continue. The Soviet Union began preparations to destroy the land-based Morgana Baba Yaga in Siberia. Britain fought a substantial engagement against Morgana near India this week, alongside a Japanese convoy. Warspite herself took charge of the defense against a cowardice who had been plaguing the waters, destroying her and a host of other Morgana. Also during the battle was the awakening of the Japanese belle Asashio, who destroyed a number of Morgana with torpedoes. There were also reports of the British belle Hotspur being sighted. Germany had a pair of notable engagements this week. The first near Iceland saw a desperate victory against the local Morgana, though the fleet suffered substantial damage and was unable to repair in the small harbors of Iceland. In the Baltic, 6 German belles were substantially damaged after attempting to finish off the treason in the area. The Morgana spun a trap against the Kriegsmarine, with the accusations of a traitor in their midst. Though the Morgana was ultimately defeated, the cost was immensely heavy by the time the Kriegsmarine was able to limp back to home ports. Those are our headlines for this week. For a full write-up, please visit the official slab. From all of us here at the studio, stay safe out there.